Hey everyone, this is Joe from the Joe&ZO pod, and inviting you to pull up a chair and let's talk some cards. Whole bunch of TTM responses today, excited to go over them with you guys. Alright, our first one is out of Columbus, Ohio. Let's put that down there. And it is Mr. Jim Lachey. He signed 1 of 1 in 11 days. He played from 1985 to 1995. He was a tackle for the Chargers, the Raiders, and for Washington. 3-time Pro Bowler, 3-time All-Pro, and he won the Super Bowl with Washington in 1991 as a member of the famous Washington Hogs offensive line. He was drafted 12th overall by San Diego in 1985. And like I've said in previous times with football cards, some positions it's hard to evaluate statistically exactly how good they were. And offensive line is probably the primary position to fall into that category. So just in terms of giving you some perspective, you have those Pro Bowls, you have those All-Pros. Pro Football Reference is a great website. It's the sister site of Baseball Reference. Has an average value statistic. I'm not sure how they calculate it, but to give you a few more reference, they counted him as a top 10 tackle twice. One of them was actually top 5 in 1990 and 1991. The career accolades are not the only thing. He was also an All-American guard at Ohio State in 1984. And like I said, he was a member of the famous Hogs from Washington, and he's actually right now the radio color guy for Ohio State football. Anyway, that's a very nice signature over there, and very cool to get Jim Lachey. All right, the next one, getting back to baseball now, is out of Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And it is Mr. Jerry Kutzler. He signed 1 of 1 in 10 days. He made 7 appearances for the White Sox in 1990. All starts as a pitcher. He went 2-1 with a 6.03 ERA. Between 1987 and 1995, he bounced around the minors. Like I said, made those 7 appearances in 1990, but that was it for his major league career. He was drafted in the 6th round in 1987 by the White Sox. And it seems like he just never made it as a major leaguer, but he did get there as a for those 7 starts. This would be his rookie card, and that's a very nice signature, and I appreciate him responding. So that is Mr. Jerry Kutzler. All right, next one is one that I was very excited to receive. Out of Carroll Stream, Illinois, with a nice little baseball there on the back to seal the envelope. It is Mr. Hal Morris. Now, I understand this signature is a little hard to see. It is written in red ink, so you can see some of it a little bit, but it does not really stick out against the backdrop of this card. Red ink in general is not great to sign with. In addition, I sent Mr. Morris 3 cards. He signed 1 of them and returned all of them, but only signed 1 of them. I was looking around at some of the different forums and stuff like that. It seems like he does sign, but he's not as into it as other players are who do sign. So you could definitely get a signature from Hal Morris, like here, but I've seen better ones than this. And in general, it doesn't seem like he is so excited to sign. But I do appreciate him signing this. He signed 1 of 3 in 22 days. He played from 1988 to 2000. He was a first baseman with the Yankees, the Reds, the Royals, back to the Reds, and then the Tigers to finish off his career. He could flat out hit. That is what this guy was good at. He had a 13.4 career WAR, a 304 batting average, 76 homers and 513 RBIs, and a 794 OPS. Like I said, he was a hitter. Not too much power, and 500 RBIs over 12 years, or parts of 12 years, mostly probably around 10 solid years in the big leagues or 9 solid years in the big leagues, is not a lot to have just 500 RBIs. But he he had the ability to hit to all fields, and a 304 career average is definitely nothing to sneeze at. He was drafted in the 8th round in 1986 by the Yankees. I actually saw that the Yankees were so impressed with him between 1988 and 1989 that they considered trading Don Mattingly in order to give Morris the first baseman job. It worked out for them that they traded him to the Reds, and the truth is it worked out for the Reds as well. Morris was part of the 1990 World Series champ team on the Cincinnati Reds, and he was their primary first baseman and a fantastic hitter. He was a tremendous athlete. In high school, he was captain of his tennis, basketball, and baseball teams. In college, he went to Michigan. He played in the College World Series in 1984 and lost, as his Michigan teams won the Big Ten championship twice while he was there. He was also a tremendous fielder. He finished with a .994 career fielding percentage at first base. So this was a guy who could hit, he could field, could get on base, but was not a big power hitter, was not a run producer in that sense. A few tidbits. We actually have 5 tidbits over here about Mr. Morris. Number 1, he had a 32-game hitting streak between the end of '96 and the beginning of '97. He was the 1994 Reds MVP. Number 3 is an interesting little tidbit. His last at-bat of his career was a game-winning RBI. He is only the second player to play 10 years in the major leagues and have his last career home at-bat be a game-winning RBI. The other one was Derek Jeter. And this makes it a very specific scenario, but the truth is, either way, his last at-bat being a game-winning RBI is pretty cool. 4th tidbit, not a high point of his career. He was named in the Mitchell Report as someone having taken performance-enhancing drugs. He has denied all those allegations. And his last little tidbit is that at the end of his career, he became a scout. He became the director for pro scouting for the Anaheim Angels, or the Los Angeles Angels, between 2011 and 2016. What was his best season? He had a few good options. I chose 1994, which again, that was the year he won the Reds MVP, and he actually finished 15th in the National League MVP voting. He hit .385 with 10 homers, 78 RBIs, and played excellent first base. So that's more than a few minutes on Hal Morris, and I'm very excited. I was very excited to get his autograph because he was a very good player who has definitely been lost in the history of baseball. Okay, a couple more before we end for today. The next one is from Santa Ana, California, and it is Mr. Ed Pierce. He signed 1 of 1 in 10 days. He made 2 appearances, 1 start for the Kansas City Royals in 1992. That was his only major league appearances. He was drafted originally in 1987 in the 35th round by the Texas Rangers. He decided to go to school, and he came back in the 1989 draft and was drafted in the 7th round by the Royals. And like I said, he made it to the majors in '92 for those 2 appearances, and that was it for his major league time. He played in the minors through the '95 season before retiring. So that is Mr. Eddie Pierce, and it's very cool to get his signature as well. And our last one for today comes out of Cincinnati, Ohio, and it is Mr. Scott Service. This was a cool one to get. Scott Service is one of those guys who pitched forever as a reliever, went to a bunch of teams, and every year your team is playing against somebody, and all of a sudden Scott Service comes in from the bullpen, and you're like, didn't he play for the other team? Didn't he play for the other team? And then he was always around, and he was always there. He played, well, let's start from the beginning. He signed 1 of 1 in 9 days. He played for a bunch of years, from 1988 to 2004. So 16 years in the major leagues. And he started at age 21, so he definitely got an early start over there. He was a reliever, like we said. He played for 9 different teams. He played for the Phillies, the Expos, the Rockies, the Reds, the Giants, and then he went back to the Reds. He played with the Royals, the Athletics, the Diamondbacks, the Blue Jays, and came back and finished his career with the Athletics. His career numbers, for somebody who was in the majors for so long, not really impressive. He had a .6 WAR, a 20-22 record, a 4.99 ERA, 16 saves, a 1.48 WHIP, and a new thing that I want to mention for relievers, again, to just give more statistical context to their career, he pitched in 338 games. He was undrafted, signed with the Phillies out of high school in 1985, and was already in the majors in 1988. And his best season was in 1998 with the Royals when he pitched in 73 games. He went 6-4 with a 3.48 ERA and 4 saves. And that is Scott's service, and that is it for today. Those 5 TTM responses. Excited to add those to the collection. All right, thank you everybody for watching. If you want to contact us, please email me, either me or Zoe at joeandzopod@gmail.com. Please give this video a like, share with your friends. Would love if you subscribed, and let us know what other content you want to see from us. All right, that's it for now. Thanks for pulling up a chair with us, and we'll see you next time to talk some cards.